Dzień dobry everybody, cześć, welcome back, willkommen, привет, bonjour, and of course, howdy, my dear comrades, towarzysche, Genossen and Genossinnen, and welcome back to all of Juarez Gunslinger. I hope you all get out here because today we're going after the Wild Bunch. After killing the Dalton brothers. Let's get moving.
My own brothers died tragically as well, truth be told.
The Wild Bunch, Juarez, 1868. Result 7.
It was 1868, and me and my older brothers were pulling a tidy profit running cattle into Juarez, Mexico. One night after my brothers retired for the evening, I found a little poker game in a cantina with a couple of cowboys.
Juarez, eh?
And I just couldn't lose. I even won an old Spanish coin that had to be 100 years old.
If not older.
Well, I was mighty pleased with myself the next morning as my brothers and I rode for Texas. But before we crossed the border, those cowboys caught up with us. It was Johnny Ringo, Roscoe Bob Bryant, and another asshole named Jim. They wanted their money back and everything else we had, including our lives, as those boys didn't want us coming for them later. Bob put that old Spanish coin in my mouth and said, "I won't have it said that I left you with nothing, boy." Well, those horses bolted, and there we hung as those bastards rode away. The branch finally snapped under the weight of the three of us, but being my older brothers were bigger and heavier, they were already dead. And right then I swore to myself that I would avenge them. Ringo you know about. But Bob eluded me, until I heard he was riding with the Wild Bunch.
So, let's take a fucking look at the Wild Bunch and this asshole, Jim. Led by Butch Cassidy and Sundance Kid, the Wild Bunch was the West's last famous outlaw gang. Welcome to the level not so great train robbery. Do you believe in ghosts? I don't believe in God.
I'd been on their trail for months, ever since they left their hideout in the Bighorn Mountains. Led by Butch Cassidy. They were a loose association of outlaws who robbed banks and trains from Colorado to Montana. Among them was the Sundance Kid, and that murderous hombre I was tracking, Roscoe Bob Bryant.
Were you a part of that giant Pinkerton posse after the Wild Bunch?
No, boy. A circus like that would have slowed me down. Besides, I wanted Bryant all to myself. I'd heard about a large shipment of gold being transported to Wilcox, Wyoming on the Overland Flyer. They blew the bridge with the intention of forcing the train to stop. Well, I assumed the Wild Bunch was likely in the still intact part of the train high above, so I had no choice but to make my way up through the passenger cars dangling down. I was determined to make that sumbitch Bob pay for what he did to my brothers. I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Yeah, me neither.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them.
There's a fucking nugget of truth. I'll be right back. So, we're back here, and almost died already. Let's take the secret. On the morning of the 2nd of June 1899, the driver of the westbound Pacific Overland Flyer number 1 sent the following message from Medicine Bow, Wyoming. First section number 1, held up, a mile west of Wilcox. Express car blown open, mail car damaged, safe blown open, contents gone. The Union Pacific Railroad office in Omaha, Nebraska responded with an offer of $1,000 reward for each train robber, dead or alive. Later, Pacific Express, a company that owned the safe, made a matching offer. The US government added to the pot, raising the total reward for each criminal to $3,000, which, counting all 6 perpetrators, meant a combined reward of $18,000. Today, that's the equivalent of $380,000. Holy shit. 7 hours after the robbery, a specially equipped train full of people, horses, provisions, and equipment arrived at the scene. The posse sent by Union Pacific Railroad was not the only one. It was joined by detectives from Burlington Railroad, the Pinkerton Agency, and an assortment of local posses looking for a rich payday. When the governor of Wyoming sent a company of the state militia that boosted the total number of the people looking for those outlaws to over 100. The robbery in question was the handiwork of the Hole in the Wall gang. There's a hole in the wall, which damaged the bridge in the process of blowing up the safe, and as usual had an excellent escape plan in place. Harvey Logan, also known as Kid Curry, and his mentor George Flatnose Curry, Kid Curry and Flatnose Curry, were definitely among the robbers, and they shot one of the pursuers, Sheriff Hazen. It's impossible to say if the brains of the operation and the gang's leader, Butch Cassidy, took part in the robbery, but Harry A. Longabo, the Sundance Kid, Ben Kilpatrick, the Tall Texan, and Will Carver most likely did. Over the following dozen years, all the outlaws involved in the Wilcox train robbery met an untimely end, revolver in hand. Well then. It's a new level for me. Headhunter. Gun blazing, faster shotgun reload. I don't even use a shotgun. Take out a couple of enemies in a row to regain your focus. Your concentration ball will completely refill after reaching a combo level at some multiple of 6. That's some good shit. That's some bad shit.
I found the device they used to blow the tracks, so I knew I was headed in the right direction.
Yep.
My ears are still ringing from blowing up that bridge.
What'd you say? I can't hear a goddamn thing.
Well, I made my way off unscathed and came upon a few members of the gang and had no choice but to dispatch them. From there, I had to negotiate an even more precarious route.
You're straying away from the story. Yeah, okay, sorry. Sorry, I'm not going away from the story.
First, I would need to get my ass out of there.
I see you, birdie. Pretty birdie. Pretty birdie. Getcha. I can't aim for shit, apparently. Oh, there you go.
I jumped from the frying pan into the fire as the train was clearly fixing to fall. I had found the gang, but in order to find old Bob, I needed to fight my way forward past a whole passel of desperados. Outside, inside, any way I could, I made my way towards my prey.
Well, what about the passengers?
It was mostly a freight train, as I recall. There were no passengers aboard that day.
Thank goodness. Open up, buddy. Open wide. Just call dumbass. Bitch! Right in my kisser. Good morning.
As I mentioned before, I am not fond of heights. But I was too busy dodging bullets to worry about falling to my death. Odds were I was likely to die that day anyway. So I was determined to take down as many of those bastards as I could.
Not just see that. Wait, see.
Ouch. From where are you shooting, buddy? Shotgun.
At times, it was like shooting ducks in a shooting gallery. The only difference is these damn ducks shot back.
Fuck yourself. Holy shit. Hey, there's a secret. It's George Flatnose Curry. George Sutherland Curry, better known as Flatnose Curry, was a mentor for another famous outlaw, Harvey Logan. Logan, who adopted the last name of his more experienced friend, came to be known as Kid Curry, the wildest of the wild bunch. Both men robbed banks together and later joined the famous wild bunch led by Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Flatnose participated in the famous Union Pacific Overland Flight Train robbery near Wilcox, Wyoming in 1899. Flatnose and Kid Curry led the posse formed in the wake of the robbery and killed the marshal in charge. Another year later, Flatnose was in the business of cattle theft in Utah when his luck ran out. Bullets found him when Sheriff Jesse Taylor tracked him down. Upon hearing the news, Kid Curry decided to avenge his brother from a different mother. He made his way to Utah and killed Sheriff Taylor and his deputy in a bloody shootout. Well, wouldn't you do? Way. There's a way. There's a way. Fuck. I don't want to go to war today.
I kept hoping the law would show up and give me a hand.
You mean like that giant Pinkerton posse that I read about? Did they come riding in, guns a-blazing to help?
Supposed to be the Pinker? Bill Leffers, Jeff Thorne, Taylor, Nelson Lane, Kid Curry, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid, Grand Pussy versus the Wild Bunch.
Help? From the Pinkertons? No, son. I had to fight the Wild Bunch all by my lonesome, as usual.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know. Tell me. Whatever you want. I'm sure it's a fucking nightmare, buddy.
He's killing everybody.
Of course I'm killing everybody.
He'll kill us all.
And get up it. Shake. I'm just here. Kill you. Fuck your fucking... Wait, why did I say that? No. Ah, there it is. Hole in the Wall was the name of secluded hideout in the Bighorn Mountains in northern Wyoming. It was used towards the end of the 19th century by various outlaw gangs looking to disappear. The location was ideal. It was perfectly defensible place, nearly impossible to take by force and equally difficult to sneak up on without alerting its inhabitants. The hideout was also well equipped and provisioned permanent huts to provide shelter during harsh winters. During the Hole's golden years, there were even stables, a corral with animals, and a storehouse full of bullshit, apparently. Food, which everyone did their best to replenish. The best known inhabitants of the Hole in the Wall were without a doubt members of the appropriately named Hole in the Wall gang. Led by Butch Cassidy, they were also known as the Wild Bunch, with all sorts of criminal gangs and outlaws in land called the Hole in the Wall Hole. Please don't say why I'm singing this shit. It's a fucking song called Hole in the Roof. Or Pistol Ammo.
My guess is those dime novels didn't portray this as it happened, did they? Only a few stragglers were left, and I had to cut them down pronto if I was going to stay on old Bob's trail.
Stragglers, you say? Level, motherfucker! Yep. If you wanna live, die or something like that. There's another one, and there's another one. Quality time, buddy. Quality time. And I got you two new lemons. What do you say to this, buddy? Yeah, there goes the next one, and there goes the next one. Who wants it more? Because the more you die, the more levels I get. Yep. Here's a shot, headshots, and arrows all around, and 3 levels. Don't you dare to destroy my little... Let's take a little look what we can do with those reload levels, by the way. Run reload while sprinting. That's actually kind of cool. Reloaded guns concentration. Focus to be locked and loaded. Your activity weapon will get an automatic fill. More concentration for headshots. Yeah. It's about enemies behind you. Hint about nuggets of truth. And additional zoom while aiming. What's this? Faster reload. There. This is actually cool. Concentration for headshots. Zoom while aiming would be nice, but revolver capacity more and other rounds.
Once I silenced all those guns, I went searching for my nemesis, determined to finally have my justice. But the only survivor who welcomed me was George Flatnose Curry.
Who was he?
The fastest gun in the gang. Right after Sundance, I mean. And Kid Curry, and maybe Elsie Lay. Though some folks might dispute that.
Okay. By the way, you've got a nice scope, buddy. It's a lot of money next to us, a lot of money. Don't you dare to fucking... I didn't do this whole shit, the shits and giggles! Well, I just died. Come on, hombre. Didn't you die later? Ah, what do I give a shit? Come on, you cell-shaded sucker!
On that very same day, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid decided to leave the Wild Bunch behind and decamped for South America.
Well, that was...
They ended up living down there for many years, but I'm sure you already know all about that.
Well, everybody, that took some time, and I thank you all for being here with me on this wonderful path of gaming. Do me a few favors, okay? First of all, stay fresh, stay cool, and stay strong, everybody. If you're not strong, please get strong. You're better than you think. Next thing, please, of course, like and subscribe, and put your comments down below, and give me a fucking English dictionary, because I'm losing my fucking words. Ain't this a doozy? And of course, the last favor you can do for me is, of course, the greatest and biggest, and please keep on doing this, because I wish all of you to keep on ripping. So thank you, everybody, for being here with me, like I said, and I see you all next time. Toodaloo!